I came up with this idea to do this reality show, America's Next Top Model, in my underwear, in my kitchen, making some tea, looking out the window, and just went boom, and it came to me. So I called a friend that's a writer who connected me to a man named Ken Mock, who was like the godfather of reality TV.
Well, she had said to me, people come up to me all the time and say, how do you become a model? Nobody really knows. It's like this whole mysterious thing. And so she said, I want to do a series that kind of explains that. And I thought that was a great idea.
Ken was like, do you want to partner on that? And that was the beginning of America's Next Top Model. Welcome, ladies. A lot of you guys have said, oh yeah, this is nice, this is fun, but this week got serious. So now you see this business is no game.
I just took her hands one day and I said, do you realize what just happened? You're doing what you always wanted to do. So it was really, really exciting. But I had no idea how much of a toll that it was going to take on her.
There were certain assumptions I made about Tyra before I had met her. But I thought, oh, she's going to, have a vanity title on this show that we're doing, and she's not going to do anything. And boy, was I wrong. She was completely the opposite.
You need to live, breathe, and eat this. This needs to be your life. I have this thing inside of me that eats at me to create things that are perfection. See, I'm gonna go first, and you guys can watch me. You can watch the sexiness come from my eyes. When I was working on America's Next Top Model, I wasn't sleeping. I was living in the edit bay.
She didn't want to delegate any responsibilities, and so she turned into this workaholic, and she wanted to have creative control over every aspect.
Well, I just want to let you guys know that I hand-selected every single one of you, and I just want to say y'all fly.
She got physically sick from just trying to have her hands on everything.
I think I'm a perfectionist because if it goes bad, it's on me. If it goes good, it's on me. On Monday, I'm going to be a talk show host. I'm very excited. This is a dream come true. Everything that I've been through, my triumphs, my struggles, everything was for this talk show.
When Tyra started her talk show, she was extremely excited about it, but behind the scenes, Tyra was just really spread too thin.
Taping 180 shows a year is a lot. It was one of the most painful, stressful things I have ever done, but one of the most gratifying. I felt I needed to live it and breathe it because 90% of talk shows fail before the first year is over. And I was like, I'm not going to be that statistic.
When she got the talk show, I actually became afraid for her. I pulled her aside several times to try to get her to understand that it's okay if everything's not perfect.
Every day on the Tyra show, I always felt like I looked like I was strong and in control, but I was not. Oh my God, I was under so much stress. Then you add America's Next Top Model to that, and a whole bunch of other development of other television shows and running my business. I was going insane. Insane. And sometimes I just go home and cry.
She really, really, really needed balance.
I had a guy I was dating when I was doing the talk show, and one day he looked at me and he said, your calling is to lead girls and be this voice and change the world, but it's not to love somebody.
She always had a boyfriend, and it was always some amazing guy that was really sweet and really cool, but she definitely always wore the pants in the relationship, and you need a really powerful together guy that knows who he is to handle someone like that.
My mom always told me, don't you ever feel like you need a man, and always have your FU money so that you are not beholden to him to take care of you. But I want love and deserve love like everybody does. I was doing America's Next Top Model for a couple of cycles and had just started my talk show. But I made a decision that I was going to walk away from modeling. I felt like I needed to leave the fashion industry before it left me. I felt weird walking a runway with wings on and lingerie and then, talking about talk show stuff, and I felt like I needed to let it go.
She really had to figure out psychologically what's going to happen to me now. There was a bit of her identity that went with that whole model persona.
I don't think she made a big mistake. I think that the modeling had served its purpose.
Okay, so new chapter in Tyra's life. Her talk show is over, and I'm like, this is great. You have some more time to yourself. You can relax and, take some vacations. And she's like, no, I'm really excited. I'm going to write this book for teen girls.
It might be like, what's Tyra writing a book for? But it's a natural progression of something that I've always wanted to do.
When we would go abroad to shoot Top Model, she would spend all of her time in her hotel room, writing the book.
I was so stressed out. I broke out on my cheekbones. In fact, on America's Next Top Model, the new main titles, my cheekbones are retouched because they're full of pimples. And I actually got alopecia. And I haven't talked to anybody about that. Probably that last month when I was still trying to push it, I had lost a little hair right here, about a quarter size.
It started to take a toll on her. She could ignore it like in the past or realize, uh-oh, this is happening again.
I think the moment clicked when I was crying at the table with 10 executives from my company. That was the moment when I said something's gotta change, and I am changing it. I am trying to create a balance that the only gratification that I get in life is not just from work. I do want to start a family. I do want to have children. I wanted to have kids since I was 23 years old. But it starts with me figuring out the balance now. And I can have the babies and not be like, Mommy's busy. Hi. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that test. Oh, that's so fantastic. I don't want to be that kind of mother, and I will not be that kind of mother.
The best moment was when I heard her say it to the world. She's saying it to me, that's one thing. But then I started to hear her in her interviews, and she actually started to say, I would really like to have a family. And then I knew, okay, it's coming.
The thing I admire about Tyra and what's gotten her the success that she enjoys today is the fact that she never let go of who she was, and she's still that down-to-earth girl I met at 13.
She's been a seminal figure in the fashion industry, first of all as an African-American model, but she's been a trailblazer in regards to what models can think they can do. Tyra was the first person who really kind of went from supermodel to television producer to talk show host to businesswoman.
She wanted to reach middle America. She wanted to reach girls around the world to let them understand that you can embrace all types of beauty. And Lord, it happened.
50 years from now, I could care less if people don't know who I am or who I was, but I do care that they know what I stand for. And right now, I am working my ass off to plant the seeds so that the definition of beauty, which I still feel is very narrow, is opening wider and wider and wider. And that's what I want my legacy to be.
I was born this way.